COVID was a test, and we failed. Moving forward, if we're going to endure as a free society, it is crucial that we all take a hard look around, and then we need to come together and fix it. Because our republic is badly fractured. We have allowed ourselves to slide into an authoritarian rule. I say allowed ourselves because it wasn't taken from us. It's been freely given away by us, which means it's up to us to take it back. Throughout the pandemic, the lockdowns, the George Floyd riots, the experimental vaccines, basically all of the government overreach, the 2020 election, the 2022 election, Russiagate, the attack on our food supply, Hunter's laptop, Epstein Island, the destruction of our economy, quantitative easing for over a decade, and the deterioration of our institutions as well as the shredding of our Constitution. It just goes on and on and on. There's a whole generation of Gramsci Marxists who want to depopulate huge swaths of the population and replace the majority of the world governments with a one-world totalitarian communist government, and seemingly the only thing that's standing in its way is what's left of our republic. Collectively, we failed. Heck, we've been failing as a society since the Kennedy assassination, but we picked up exponential speed after 9/11. We'll have to do a whole mini-series on the FISA courts, the Patriot Act, and Gitmo, as well as another mini-series on the fictional climate crisis, the lies about our planetary energy resources being limited, and the misinformation on recycling. Hey. We have allowed so much nonsense in. And again, you are not alone. I was programmed and brainwashed right along with you. The biggest beacon of hope are our technological advancements, specifically the internet and social media. It's very possible that this government manipulative bullshit has been going on forever. I can only speak for myself, and I was clearly fast asleep. I thought I was awake, but I wasn't. I'm a student of history, and I believed the history I was taught. Now a lot of that history is put into question, especially in light of enough evidence of government lies, propaganda, manipulation, and things like MKUltra. A great awakening is taking place. An awakening that has been made possible from a higher power and is being facilitated through our technological advancements. Now that tech, if we're not careful, can be used as a weapon against its people, the way China uses it to control their people. But the same thing can be true for us. We the people. With bravery and temerity, we can use that same technology as a weapon against tyranny, ultimately for our betterment and the betterment of all mankind. We can do better. We need to do better. And I'm not just referring to the people who are still asleep. Those of us that are waking up were rendered largely helpless during the scandemic, and we're still playing catch up. There were a few heroes, and thank God for them. But as a whole, we failed. Let's face it, we all social distanced, we all put on those face diapers at least one time or another, because if we didn't, they wouldn't let us travel, they wouldn't let us buy groceries, they didn't let us do anything, etc., etc. Without compliance, they wouldn't let us get medical attention. They scared the populace into submission. Most of us locked down at least for a period. Many voluntarily took experimental vaccines, and worse, too many gave unnecessary experimental vaccines to children. There is still time to turn this around, but time is running out, and allowing our country to fall into full-on authoritarian rule without doing anything about it is just appalling to me. Ergo, the podcast. My dad was in the military. I have other family and friends that served. We are standing on the shoulders of giants. In another mini-series in this podcast, I'm going to get into the shredding of our Bill of Rights and explain how almost all the protections in our Constitution have essentially evaporated. The point is, we need to do better. We need to collectively come together and curb the establishment and stave off the deep state. Only then can we restore the republic. And remember, it's our failure for allowing the government to overstep. In our republic, the people are supposed to be the government. It's on us. And that means it's incumbent upon us, the people, to fix it. We need to reprogram and re-educate the people. The dictatorial COVID mandates were a test, and we failed. This isn't hyperbole, and it shouldn't be a left, right, liberal, conservative issue. The Bill of Rights was designed to protect all Americans. If this is going to be successful, you have to be willing to stand up in the face of tyranny. If you wanted to know what you would have done during the American Revolution, during the time of slavery and abolition, during the time of the Jim Crow laws, during the time of apartheid, during the time of Nazi Germany, you don't have to wonder, just remember how you behaved during the pandemic. Just remember what government fear and propaganda did to you. How did you behave? You still see masks out there. We all see them. We all do. They're usually triple vaxxed and boosted and driving alone in their cars. Huh? And again, if you really want to know how you would have behaved in any of those historical settings, you don't even need to remember the pandemic. You're actually still living in it right now. Too many people cowered in the face of the fake pandemic. Too many people turned on their neighbors, friends, and family out of fear. And to be clear, unrelated to the pandemic, there are more slaves on the planet Earth right now than there ever were when slavery was legal. I just had to throw that in there because that's the reality of what we're living with right now. More slaves on the planet Earth right now than when slavery was legal, and about half of them are in the sex trafficking industry. Yeah. We failed. We continue to fail. We need to do better. It starts with waking up, reprogramming, and re-educating as many people as possible. Oh, that was a heavy one. Until next time, like, comment, join, and share, share, share. Remember, everyone wakes up at their own pace, and you are not alone. God bless America, God bless this podcast, and God bless you. Stay frosty, my friends.